Welcome to Conversations with Cubit, and thank you for joining me tonight, and thanks for supporting these weekly conversations. All of you have been amazing, that's for sure. However, my guest tonight has been a supporter of everything I've done for years, and she has been the biggest supporter of Conversations with Cubit since the very first live broadcast back in 2020. I'm excited, super excited about tonight's conversation, and maybe, just maybe, it's your first time joining this conversation. If so, welcome to the family. And yes, we consider you family. My team and I are excited that you found your way here. And to all of our regular and loyal viewers, thanks for all of the words of encouragement that you continually send to my inbox. We love it, so please keep those coming. We're also live on YouTube as we speak. You can find all of our past conversations on my YouTube channel. Just look up Conversations with Cubit. And once you get there, please subscribe and hit the like button. Please, we are trying desperately to increase our viewership on YouTube, so please help us out. We have some great conversations posted there with some amazing folks, so trust me, you will not be disappointed. But right now, I need you to do me a favor and share tonight's conversation. Please don't keep this conversation to yourself. Share this with your community. The conversation is going to be fun, no doubt, but it's also a very important conversation. Okay? Now, have you heard of Green Pasture Studios? Of course you have, especially if you are a regular viewer. We are back here inside the studio for tonight's conversations. Green Pasture Studios is in the movie making business. That's right, full-fledged movie production, commercials, TV shows, and they even have a film training academy. In fact, tonight they're filming a TV show. Tonight. All right. These people here are in the film making business. The studio is located in Oklahoma City, right here in Oklahoma City, in Spencer, Oklahoma, and they give these weekly conversations at home, and we are extremely appreciative of the really nice place they give us to broadcast from week after week. So please do me a favor, look them up, do yourself a favor, and look them up. Now, I need to share with you my very simple goals for these weekly conversations. There's only three, and they're simple. One, I just want to add value to people and to my community. Two, I want to inspire you to believe in what people and communities can become when we're willing to work together. And last but not least, love people, period. All this means is I want you to be inspired. I want you to get useful information and resources, and I want to celebrate individuals, groups, and organizations who are making a positive impact on our community. Every conversation will be about information, inspiration, and hope. Joining me tonight is a real queen, and she is my friend. We have joining us tonight none other than Miss Donna Thompson. Donna is just one of those women that is always there, humbly serving and making things happen behind the scene. Donna is the director of the Oklahoma Baptist State Convention Prison Ministry. She is also a key member of the Oklahoma Justice Circle. She is a super mom and so much more. There is so much we can discuss with Donna, so I have no idea where this conversation will go or where we'll end up, but please help me welcome my friend, the queen, the great Donna Thompson to Conversations with Cubit. Hey, sis.
Hey, how you doing today?
We're doing good. Now, this is your first time on Conversations, but this is not the first time we've had an interview. We've had conversation.
Right, this is my first time. I feel special today.
You are special. You are very, very, I feel special because I get to highlight you. And I don't know if we take enough time. That's why this is what this show's about. It's about people like you. We need to highlight people that they need to know about.
Okay.
And you're going to tell them what they need to know about, right?
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, all right. I have these silly games that I like to play at the beginning of every conversation, but I'm going to skip that with you.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because you can get long-winded and we're going to run over if we play games.
Well, let's not do that.
So we ain't going to play no games. We're going to get right to it, okay?
Right.
Is it me that's long-winded or is it you?
You.
Who makes every meeting go long?
You.
Okay. All right. That's not true, y'all. I get it. Get in, get out. All right, Donna. A lot of people know your face. Mm-hmm. A lot of people might know your work or didn't know that you had your hand in it. Okay. But a lot of people don't know Donna. Like Donna. What makes Donna tick? Who Where did Donna come from? Did she come from my door? All that stuff. So fill us in right now before we start any in-depth conversation. Give us who is Donna Thompson?
I'll tell you a little bit about me. I originally I was raised in Jones, Oklahoma.
Jones.
Yes, until I was 6 years old, and then my family moved to Arcadia.
Way down the road.
Yes, my grandparents were already living there, and so that's my maternal grandparents. So we moved back to Arcadia, Oklahoma, because that's where my mom is originally from. I went to school in Arcadia, and then got bused to Rogers Middle School.
From Arcadia?
From Arcadia, and we were the first students at Rogers Middle School. We were the first sixth graders, and of course there was other seventh and eighth. And so we had an opportunity to pick the mascot, pick the colors,
The colors that are there right now today.
That's right, that's right.
Yellow
and gold.
And gold.
Blue and gold. And then the mascot, I forgot what the mascot, Rogers. Well, I can't even remember what they are, but it's been so long ago. And then I went to school with Star Spencer. And so I just really enjoyed throughout life, and I still do, is softball. Softball was my thing.
Softball?
Softball. When I turned 19, I learned how to play softball. So being from Arcadia, these country girls coming to Oklahoma City and playing with the city girls, and it became a big thing, and it was Park. So those are some of the greatest memories that I have of being a part of a team from Arcadia. But I love softball so much that it didn't matter what team it was. If there was a pickup game that I could get on, I just started playing. We went
How long did you play? How long did you play?
The last time I played was probably maybe 7 years ago. Because the Fairview Baptist Church, the Fairview Baptist Church had a softball team and some other churches. And so we got together, and it was about 7 years ago, somewhere around in there.
I didn't know that. So softball was a hobby.
Let me tell you though.
Yeah.
I was the shortstop.
The shortstop.
So
I can see you clapping the glove.
Everybody,
these nails wasn't gonna work.
No, they had no. I didn't wear nails. I didn't wear nails because it's like I had to throw the ball. But I love softball so much. But one of the things that some of the people, you met so many nice and sweet people, and we would always just say, just hit the ball to the shortstop. We're from the country, but it was just really a wonderful time. And all of the people that we met on all these tours and at Edwards Park and the teams and things. So that's one of the things about the people that I know today from when I played softball.
You have this really upbeat, positive, go-get-it attitude all the time. I want to know what early childhood experience do you think contribute to you being the person we know today?
I grew up, my mom, I'm the second of seven. And so at growing up, my mom and dad were together, but then my dad at that particular time used to go off and drink. I'm just going to be honest about that, because at the end of the day, God delivered him from that. So I have to say that, because people have to see how far down in the valley you was to see how deep God pulled you up. And so we were in that, and my dad sometimes would be gone, but he'd always come back, and he would leave and he would always come back. So you learn how to do things to help with the family. Because we were the older children. And so he was such a wonderful person, and I just loved him so much with them wet kisses that he used to give me, at those particular times. But just being able to step in and helping my mom and the family during those periods.
That's shaped who you are today, just a helper.
Just a helper.
Just a helper. And that you truly are. I wanna I want to ask you this. I've been dying to ask you this question since the moment I interviewed Pastor Reed. I interviewed Pastor Reed just before his anniversary, 60th anniversary in the big gala. I went down to Fairview, and I just fun-lovingly mentioned your name during the show, and he had this look in his face. It is like that's my girl. He had but he said that Donna was a mess. He said Donna was a piece of work.
Oh yeah.
He said,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He said Donna was a piece of work, and I said you should not have told me that, because I am going to be asking Donna about the. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Pastor Reed, but not really. We know what it is now. Mm-hmm. How did we get there?
So I when I moved to Oklahoma City, because I was living in Arcadia during those periods I was speaking of, I didn't want to move my membership from my church, which is Mount Pleasant Baptist Church. And so I was going to a church, but because of the softball, I knew the Darling family. So I knew the Darling family and the Fairview Saints. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go over here to Fairview and see what they're talking about. I wasn't trying to find a church home, I just wanted to go to church. But when I went there, I remembered how I felt about the Fairview Saints that I played ball with and stuff. And so I enjoyed the church. And, I grew up in the church, so I was led by the Lord. The Lord told me that's where I needed to be. And so when I went to Fairview, I wanted to be a better person, a better Christian, a better friend. I didn't really want to get into anything. I just wanted to be at church and pay attention to what Pastor Reed was saying, just to help me develop more, even though I grew up in the church. And so with that, he said one day, well, I'm going to put you over hospitality. I had probably been there about 4 or 5 years, so he did allow me that opportunity to do that. And then, but I had a lot of conversation with him. I had conversation with him where he would like literally buck his eyes and say, "What? You what? What happened?" And so, but I felt very comfortable in talking to him, and felt like I could say things to him, and it not be heard over here or over here. And and he had such wisdom and understanding that I trusted him, and he did what he said. And if there was a bump in the road, he helped me to get over it, get around it, or just do what needs to be done. Pastor Reed was the president of the Oklahoma Baptist State Convention, and which is the largest African American religious organization in the state of Oklahoma, with about 265 churches. And so what he said to me was, we do this and we do that, and he had the conversation. And so there were things that he just trusted me to do that I'm not sure if I trusted myself to, but he was the pastor. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I get it.
That's kind of how
he led you.
Yeah. And so I started working for an organization called Oklahoma Healthcare Authority with Wayne Thompson and John Bowman. And in this, I transported caregivers, parents, family members to L.E. Rader. In that travel, there was conversation about grandparents raising grandchildren who their plan was not to raise an additional family, but after retirement, but mom might have went to prison, dad might have went to prison, maybe a wife or a husband whose spouse may have went to prison, or it could be a couple, neither one of them went to prison, but the child just acted out, but they were adjudicated by the state. And so I said all that to say, because every time I came back home from traveling to Sand Spring, I had a conversation with Reverend Reed. Well, Reverend Reed, this family have this, and this family's lights is off, and this family, they need some insulation in their house, and this lady over here, her kids are having shoes, and he would be looking at me like, Okay. Finally, he said, you know, I'm just one person, right? You know that, right? And I said, yeah. He said, so what, you know, if you want to help, I can put you over the ministry and you can help. I was like, no, I don't want to do that, because the work that I did for the Oklahoma Healthcare, I had to be available 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't see how to do that. But, you know, the Lord said, oh, yeah.
And you took it and you ran.
I did.
Took it and you ran.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I love hearing about his leadership, but I'm also seeing the fruits of his leadership by how you roll. But I want to take you back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can you catch us up? The people need to know that we're comfortable with each other because we do a lot of little things together over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of tell them where our paths cross? You remember?
Right. Well, as I shared, transporting the parents and caregivers to the juvenile facility, I started, one of the places was Central Oklahoma Juvenile Center, which is Kojak. Mm-hmm. And it's in Tecumseh. And I heard about this guy named Waylon Cubitt, and the kids would be talking about Waylon Cubitt, and Mr. Cubitt is going to do this. Mr. Cubitt has a program. I'm like, okay, well, who is Mr. Cubitt? And then we started the youth awareness program. The youth awareness program, I wanted to show our youth in the community the consequences of bad choices or negative choices. So Central Oklahoma Juvenile Center allowed law enforcement to bring these young people who have made bad choices to our event. And guess who was there?
Waylon Cubitt.
Waylon Cubitt. So it was just a wonderful thing to be able to try to reach these children. But you were already doing such a great job with the children, you know. So that's where it started at. And I've been doing this right at 20 years, and it'll be our 16th or 17th youth awareness program in July. So it's been that long.
And it seems like it always happens on a day that I got something, and it happened. Mm-hmm. I had something going on that day, but being true, Donna, you can squeeze me in. You can come by here. You kept on after me. Yeah. And so I happened to be speaking at a conference downtown, and I was happened to be speaking on stage with President Obama's director of faith-based initiatives.
His name was Eugene Shishberg.
Yes. Yes, Eugene. Yeah. And Eugene said, okay, Waylon, why are you rushing off? It's lunchtime. I said, I got to go to this church. He said, what are you going to be doing at the church? I said, I don't know exactly, but I think I'm speaking to some youth. And he said, can I come? And I said, come on.
Right.
And then Sean Alexander from the Seattle Seahawks was with us, jumps in the car. So I come with two heavy hitters. Nobody really knows me. Yeah. But I come to your event with two heavy hitters, and those kids, I still have pictures from that event. And people still talk about that event. Those kids are in their late 20s, early 30s now. Right. So the impact is really, really good, because I want you to know I still talk to some of those kids. I still get messages from them.
Right.
So you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Okay, here's what we need to know. You doing prison ministry. When people say Donna Thompson, there are a lot of things they can attach to you. I can attach the stuff, the volunteer stuff. I can attach Justice Circle things. I can do all that, and we probably got to talk about that, because they'll be mad at us if we don't talk about it. But but I really want to know about prison ministry. You're known for prison ministry. You go after it. You stay after it. You're with it. A lot of people don't want to work with these people.
Right.
A lot of people will never work with it if you didn't ask them or pull them along. And then some of them get hooked and stay with it. Exactly. Tell us about prison ministry.
So I said that about Pastor Reed appointing me over the Oklahoma Baptist State Convention Prison Ministry, which gave me an opportunity to, be able to help on a different level. Because I was excited. It was like, oh my goodness, all these churches, and we can do this, and we can do that. And oh, and we could just call over here. And, I just really thought it was just going to be such a great fit. And then what I found out was that some people just didn't know a lot of things. And when I say that, I started out because I'm prison ministry director for these 200 and something churches. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to help. And so I started at my church, the Fairview Baptist Church, and bumped my head to see what I needed to do and didn't need to do before I ventured out to start helping other churches. There was a guy from the Fairview Baptist Church, he was in, Hodgins, Oklahoma, Jim Hamilton prison. And so he had contacted Reverend Reed. And when he contacted Reverend Reed, he said there are 22 Caucasian churches here and no black churches. And I said, well, so Reverend Reed said, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get prison ministry in all of our churches, regardless of what they're doing, if they're going to visit kids, if they're doing grandparents raising grandchildren. It didn't matter what they were doing, as long as they were doing something to touch the lives of those who had backgrounds or felony convictions or criminal history, anything of that nature. The thing was, people started saying, well, I don't have a prison ministry. And I would say, but what you gonna do when people come home from prison?
When they come home.
So it was kind of like, well, I don't have anybody in my church that's been in prison, and I don't. And a lot of people were naive or in denial.
And people weren't telling.
And they weren't, because it was the stigma that goes along with it. One lady told me, I went to speak at a church, and she told me afterwards, when she pulled me aside, and she said, my son, he died in prison. I said, why are you whispering? Did your pastor, whatever? She said, I didn't even tell my pastor. I didn't even tell my church. And that just bothered me, that you felt like you couldn't even tell them. But regardless, there are people in the prison, in the churches, that have been to prison and wanted to do things. Okay, so as time in Oklahoma, you either been to prison, know someone been to prison, related to someone been to prison, or you help pay the $500 million that it costs to house someone. So you're a taxpayer. So no one is exempt.
Right.
Because see, I was trying to I asked the Lord, now what do I need to say? So that's what he gave me to say, so that I can include everybody in my conversation. And it was an eye-opener to many. Oh yeah, that is right. And so incarceration is a community concern.
Yeah.
And so
now, let me stop you. Is this work that you do primarily for those that come out of prison? Is that primarily who your prison ministry is for? Is it for people that are in prison? Or is it prevention from people going to prison? Which one is it?
All the above.
All the above.
All the above. And the most important one is the preventive one.
Right.
Yeah, it's the kids.
The kids.
The kids. And and then some people who made a mistake and learned from it and just need another chance. Everybody needs another chance, but needs another chance. And but there are people who are in prison who went to prison 4-5 times and didn't get it right to right now. We have a guy that got out and he went 5 times. He's a veteran, and he got out in 2009, went back to school, got his associates, his bachelor's, his master's.
He was stuck on stupid, but he became unstuck.
Yeah,
right?
and now
became
he's
unstuck.
He's studying for his license for
That's good.
LADC.
That's good.
LADC, yeah.
So tell me, this weekend you have a really cool event coming up, but I'm kind of frozen on it because I'm kind of intimidated by it, to be honest, because it said prison ministry workshop.
Right.
How do you have a prison ministry workshop, Donna? Tell us what that is.
Okay, so just as I shared, there were people that what we wanted people to do is to be a part of any, like I said, It could be kids, it could be grandparents, it could be anybody that touched the lives of those people who have had background. So this is what we do. We have somebody, a representative from the juvenile, the county, the Fed, and the state come in to give an overview of the process to go into the facility. You fill out the application, you
so
go
anybody
through
that wants
training.
to serve in prison.
Yeah, you go through the training, you pick your days, but each entity has a different process. So, for prison ministry, all of those are included. So somebody will be there and tell them, answer the question. Well, I want to go to the juvenile facility. You have to do this, this, and this. And if you want to go to the state, you have to do this, this, and this. But you answer the question of the process for that.
And you sign up right then?
Yes.
To start the process there at your workshop?
Yeah, you can start the process right then. And so we have paperwork. Some of them still have paperwork. Some of it is online. And you can sign up for, and the thing is, you can do all of them if you want to.
Who needs to be there? Is this the pastor? Who do you recommend? You're going to say everybody, but it's not for everybody.
I am.
Who needs to be in this workshop?
Well, see,
type of person.
It really is anybody, because see, some people just don't know what it is, but they may just want to help, but they don't know how to help. So that's why you have that information. I think family members of those who have family members of those people who have been incarcerated. Okay, so like for instance, we'll have somebody talking about GPS, the leg monitor. People need to know about the leg monitor if your family member has a leg monitor on. Probation, parole, what does that actually mean? And then you have people that are in school that will learn from that. We're going to talk about pardons. Jason's going to talk about expungement, sex offender information, all types of information for people. Yeah. But one of the biggest things for me is that I believe in order for people to be very successful is to have resources. So we have tons of vendors from employment, like the Oklahoma Housing Authority is going to be there. A lot of people don't know that you can actually live in a housing authority house 3 years from your conviction. Everybody just thinks that you never can anymore. And that's why I always like them there. But, there's counseling there, and different people come for different reasons. And some people don't know why they're coming,
Okay, I'm convinced I need to be there. So tell me when and where. Give us the details.
So let me just run this real quickly here. Okay, so we're going to talk about reentry, restorative justice, voting with a felony conviction. I got to say this real quick.
That's a big one.
Yeah, voting with a felony conviction. Most people think that you can't register and vote with a felony conviction, and that is so not true. And I'm just going to give you an example. So everything starts at date of conviction, and then the number of years that the judge give you. So I'm going to do a real quick one with you. So January 1st, 2000, you got convicted. Okay, January?
No, I didn't. Don't do that.
I'm just saying. January 1st, 2000, okay?
Ooh, that felt bad, Donna. That felt bad.
Okay, an example. Yeah. There was somebody got convicted January 1st, 2000, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Pick a number.
10 years.
10 years, okay. They got 10 years, right? So January 1st, 2000 plus 10 is January 1st, 2010. That's the formula.
I can vote then.
Exactly.
But people are scared to death.
Yeah.
That they get this wrong.
Yeah.
And have another conviction for attempting to vote.
Yeah, but it's on the voter's registration card. But anyway, I want people to know that. And if they got any questions, they can just contact me because I want to know.
I have sent dozens of people to you, Donna,
yes.
for this very reason. Yeah. Yes.
And then
not that I was looking for anybody to vote for me or anything. But.
Okay. And then we have employment, housing, expungements, pardons, probation, parole, sex offense, drug court, GPS, mental health, and substance abuse, and again, county, juvenile, state, and federal prison. And it is going to be May 6th, Saturday, May 6th. Registration and networking is from 11 to 12, and the workshop begins promptly at 12. It's at
Where?
Paradise Baptist Church, 4617 Northeast 36. Which is on Northeast 36th and Bartell Road. Pastor Triplet. And you can register to come to the event. Now, there is a registration fee, and I talked about this before. The registration, advanced registration ended Friday. But if you tell me that you heard this information on Conversation with Cubic,
You get a nugget.
you get a nugget. Yeah. So
okay.
just let me know. And so we just want people to come out and get the information. And, even some people that are in school can get some hours, for court torture, their classes and stuff like that. So
That's good. All right. I need to know, when I said in the introduction that you're a super mom, you are a super mom. You are a super mom. And what's so, you're just so humble you're just humble. I have known you for years, and then somebody sends me a video of a really, really nice story that was done on you and your son. Talk about your son just for a second, if you don't mind.
my son, that's my little chocolate chip. I have 5 children, and my son is the oldest. Well, to be honest, I had 6 children. My oldest daughter was Tashika, and she got hit by a truck when she was 15, and she passed away. So Thomas is my son. That's my chocolate. Anyway, and I have 4 daughters. My son in January 2014. Actually, he's from Star Spencer. I mean, not Star Spencer, but Southeast, part of the team that was winning and winning and winning.
Heck of a basketball player.
Yes. And football player for Langston University. He played at Bacone as well. But when he became an adult, he started working at an oil field in North Dakota, and he got his finger smashed on the rig. And when he came home, he had to have a surgery. But he started getting these different things that was going on with him, such as his twitching in the shoulder, and not being able to grasp anything. And so he was diagnosed in January of 2014, the 21st to be exact, of ALS, Lou Gehrig disease. Now, we didn't know what none of that was, and so I really have to say this because it's important that some parents listen to this. At 50, I went back to school and got my associates, 2 bachelors, and my master's. And I was going to get my PhD. I said that because I want y'all to know it's never too late to go back to school. I got to throw that in there. But my son got diagnosed, as I said. And if you don't know what ALS is, it's like, it's Lou Gehrig disease, and people might have seen it during the Ice Bucket Challenge, but the brain stops telling the spinal cord what to do, so the muscles aren't doing anything, and they just die off. And that's what the disease is. There's no treatment, there's no cure, and I spent my time getting my master's, educating myself and the people in my classroom and others, because it's normally it's people who were 40 and Caucasian and men that got the disease, and then all of a sudden these younger group started getting it. So my son's been living with it for 9 years. Thank the Lord that he's still here. And so it's just a horrible, horrible, horrible disease to watch your family member be able to do something, and then maybe next week they don't. My son got diagnosed in January 2014, and in April he couldn't work anymore. He's married, he has 3 children, and so at this point my son can't do anything for himself because his muscles, like I said, has died off. He can still talk, but he never gave up. My son never gives up. He just he just said that he just wasn't going to let it dictate his life. So he's continuing to live. He tries to do things, and his thing is all about creating memories. He has a documentary called Bigger Than Me, and it talks about that life and finding out about ALS, Lou Gehrig disease. and how it included everybody. It wasn't just him. That's the Bigger Than Me. So y'all go watch that.
And he has a fundraiser coming up.
Yes, he has a fundraiser coming up. And we actually do a fundraiser ongoing. And so this is his shirt. This is kind of like my son, you know. And so we have these shirts for him. And it says,
legendary.
Be legendary, you know. And he has a Facebook page, Thomas Johnson Fighting ALS. But, you know, we just try to, you know, just do things to keep him happy and create memories and just try to keep some normalcy in his household, because it's a terrible disease. It really is.
Yeah.
So I bought you a shirt.
You got me a shirt.
I got you a shirt. I didn't know which color you would like, so you can
I
look
think
at that.
color is not as important as size. This kind of look like this might be a dress on me.
what
Hey.
changed? I didn't know what size to get. So
I see how you. Yeah, that's saying back in the day, Good Times called me Buffalo Butt. That's what you was trying to say when you gave me this big old shirt.
No.
That's all right, though.
And so we have a black one and a teakwood.
Yeah, I say yes to anyone
turquoise.
you want to give me. That's right.
Well, I'm going to give you a smaller one because
Okay.
that's not the size.
That's
But
good. Yeah.
but if you anybody would like to you know support my son and his family, you can just send. He does Cash App, so it's $ Tombo TOMBO 24. And just put that in there. But, you know, most of all, just keep sending up the prayers for him, because it's rough. It's rough.
Well, I appreciate you.
But listen, let me say, and my girls, I love y'all too. My girls are always special.
You know, girls don't need no help. They always get the love, right? So I appreciate you coming on and sharing. I appreciate the work that we do together on the Justice Circle. We'll have to have you come back and talk just about what you do for racial justice, racial equity, and reconciliation across this city. We have some really deep conversations in our meetings before we ever put it out to the community, and we're really just trying to create unity. And I appreciate the work that you do. Yeah.
And I will have to say, for the Justice Circle, I love being a part of the Justice Circle. And let y'all know we're having our Justice Circle Breaking Bread May 11th.
May 11th.
May 11th. And we look forward to. And I thank you for letting me come and speak and kind of share who Donna Thompson is, where she came from.
You don't talk about yourself enough. We're gonna have to get you. I have some better questions. We'll get you to talk a little bit more.
All right then. Thank you very much. So you guys come on out May 6th.
This
at
weekend,
Paradise.
Saturday.
Yes, Paradise. Yeah. My phone number is 405-209-6750. If you have any questions or you just want to come or whatever the situation is that possibly can help you with.
Blow Donna up. That's it for Conversation with Cupid. We'll see you next week.